Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to our English class in level 2B elementary book. I am Vicheka, a teacher of English at Prelim New Generation School. Today we are going to study about Unit 9, City Living. We focus on the reading lesson, Megacities. Okay, I'm going to show you the objective of our today lesson. There are two objectives. By the end of the lesson, you guys will be able to first scan the text for specific information to answer the question correctly. And second, you guys will be able to skim for general information to summarize the text fluently through speaking. Okay, without further delay, let's move on. Here is what we have learned in our previous videos talking about the superlative adjective. So here's the form and example of superlative adjective. For one syllable adjective, we have to add the plus adjective plus est. And for example, the word old to the oldest. Two syllables adding in y, we change y to iest. For example, the word happy, we change it to the happiest. For two syllables that not adding in y's, we have to put the plus more plus adjective. For example, the word famous becomes the most famous. Three or more syllables, we put the plus most plus adjective. Beautiful becomes the more beautiful. And here's the irregular adjectives that you have to remember. The words good, bad, little, and many. When it changes to comparative and superlative adjective, good change to better and the best. Bad, worst, the worst. Little, less, least. Many, more, most. Okay, so let's begin to our today's lesson, but I just want to introduce some vocabularies that you might encounter in the reading. So the first word, we pronounce it megacity. It is the title of our today's lesson. So the word megacity refers to a very large city, usually usually ones with a population of over 10 million people. Next word, population. Population refers to all people living in a particular country or area. Okay, next word, commuter. Commuter refers to a person who travels into a city to work each day, usually from quite far away, so we call it commuter. Next word, shrines. Shrine refers to a place where people come to worship because it is connected with a holy person or event. Okay, it is shrines. Next word, humid. Humid refers to a warm and slightly wet. Like our country in tropical area, it is humid. Okay, next word, mysterious. Mysterious refers to a difficult to understand or explain its strength. And next word, skyscraper. Skyscraper refers to a very tall building in the city. Next, handicraft. Handicraft is a noun that refers to the activities of making attractive objects by hands. It's called handicraft. Okay. And here is the picture of the road that you guys might understand between these two. Can you guess which one is the railway and which one is the subway? Number one, it is yes, the railways, and number two, it is the subway. So this is the same road that for the trains, but the second one, subway, is just the underground. The trains, the road for the trains that in the underground, so it's called subway. Okay, so let's move on to our today lesson together. Before we going to our reading, I just want to ask you, what are the cities? Can you guess what are the cities? We have three cities. So what are they? The first picture we have a high building and small houses. Okay, and number two we have some lot of people and high buildings. And number three, we have it's kind we call a temple for people to worship. Yeah, so number one it is yes, number one it is Mumbai. Number two, yes, that's Tokyo, and the last one, yes, Mexico City. So we are going to read more detail about the three cities. Okay, so and here is what you have to do is to look at the list of cities, put them in order side of the population. One is the biggest. So we have Mumbai, New York, Shanghai, Mexico City, and Tokyo. So put them in order side of the population. Remember that number one is the biggest side of population. Okay. And number two is to look at the picture and look at the title of the articles and answer which city is very fast, have a mix of culture, and has a lot of poverty. And number three is to work in three groups, Group A, Group B, and Group C. And at Group you are going to read the text about Tokyo, Mumbai, and Mexico City. And then make the note about each city under this heading. 1. The city and its people. 2. Money and business. 3. Building and history. 4. Climate. And the last one, transport. So X group, you have to present your product in our Zoom meeting. Okay. Okay, so now everyone, let's hear from your friend reading the text about talk show.
High-speed talk show. Talk show has a population of 35 million people. It is the largest city in the world. It is also one of the most exciting. Everything moves fast here. It has one of the biggest and busiest railway systems in the world. Every day 11 million commuters use it to get to and from work. People earn the highest salaries and they spend the most money. They wear the latest fashion and have the most up-to-date phones. It is the world's most expensive city. Old and new. Tokyo was originally a small fishing village called Edo. The name changed in 1868 when the empire moved there. The architecture is very modern. There are not many old buildings because of the 1923 earthquake and the Second World War. But traditional Japan is over near, with many Shinto shrines and public baths around the city. Visiting Tokyo. Tokyo is on the escarpment of Japan. The summers are hot and humid. The most beautiful time of year is spring, when the famous cherry blossom is on the trees. The city is huge, but it is one of the safest cities in the world. Japan is mysterious. It is difficult for foreigners to understand.
After talk show, let's hear your friend reading the text about Mumbai.
Mumbai, a city of extreme. Mumbai is India's largest city with a population of 22.8 million. It is also India's most important commercial center. Mumbai was part of the British Empire until independence in 1947. It was called Mumbai until 1995. when it was renamed Mumbai after a Hindu goddess Mumbai Devi. Rich and poor. Mumbai is both old and modern, rich and poor. The streets are full of people doing business, selling snacks and clothes, or just living there. Money is everywhere in modern Mumbai. India's most important businesses and banks have their headquarters there. The Bollywood film industry produces more film than Hollywood in Los Angeles. Modern skyscrapers and new shopping malls are right next to slums. 60% of the population live with no running water, no electricity, and no sanitation. Visiting Mumbai. Mumbai is on the west coast. The wet season is from June to September. Between November and February, it is a little cooler and drier. The city is best at sunrise and sunset, when the color of the stone buildings changes from gold to orange and pink. The cheapest and easiest transport is by bus. Trains can be crowded and dangerous because of its poverty. Mumbai can be a difficult place to live, but the experience is unique.
Yes, thank you. And after Mumbai, the last text is about Mexico City.
Mexico City has a population of 23.4 million. It is the largest city in both North and South America. The Aztecs called it Tenochtitlan, and it was already an important city when the Spanish invaded in 1521. The country became independent in 1821. Mexico City offers a variety of experience. In the Zócalo, the main square, you can see the Spanish cathedral and Aztec temple and the modern skyscrapers. The city has a lot of museums and theaters. European Square and Colonial houses next to busy market selling Mexican food and Indian handicraft. It is the richest country in Latin America. There are elegant shops selling high-class goods, expensive restaurants, and super cool bars. There are also many people who live in the poor house. Mexico City is in a valley in the south central area of the country. It is surrounded by mountains. The rainy season is from June to October, and warmest months are April and May. It has the largest and cheapest subway system in Latin America. Traffic moves so slowly that it is often faster to walk. The air quality is not good, and visitors need to be careful, but the city offers a rich cultural image.
Okay, so everyone, after listening to your friend reading the text about the three cities, as you find that there are some mistakes, note it down and we will discuss after this video in our Zoom meeting. And now please check the answer together by listening to the listening and list down the biggest size of population in order. Okay, now let's get started.
Tape script 9.10.
A megacity is a city with more than 10 million inhabitants. The largest megacity is in fact Tokyo. The next biggest is Mexico City. Third is Mumbai. Fourth is New York, with about 22 million people. And last, the smallest is Shanghai, which has about 18.4 million. Sometime in 2008, for the first time in the history of the world, more people on Earth lived in cities than in rural areas.
Okay, after listening, we can check the answers. The biggest country is yes, Tokyo in the population. Tokyo is the biggest. Next, number 2 is Mexico City. Number 3 is Mumbai. Number 4 is New York, and the last one is Shanghai. Okay, for number 2, which city is very fast, has a mix of cultures, and has a lot of poverty? After reading, we can say that yes, Tokyo is very fast, has a mix of culture. What city is it? Yes, it is Mexico. Mexico has a mix of culture. And the last one has a lot of poverty. Yes, that is Mumbai that has a lot of poverty. And for this section, that's the practice, we are going to do it in our Zoom meeting. Okay, so as group, you have to present the idea after reading the text about Tokyo, Mumbai, and Mexico City. And under this heading, we have the city and its people, money and business, building and history, the climate and the transport. Okay. And here's the homework. Today we have 2 homework. This one, the first homework. For number 5 is to listen to these people from 3 mega cities. What do they like about their capital city? What do they say about the people, the climate, the transport, and the thing to do in their city? Okay, and here's the reading. Here's the listening for you that you might listen to get the idea about these 3 people talking about their city.
Tape script 9.11. Makiko from Tokyo.
The first thing to say about Tokyo is that it is very safe. Women can walk everywhere, anytime, day or night. Little children walk to school. You can leave something on the table in a restaurant while you go out for a minute, and nobody will take it. Tokyo is also very clean, and it is very easy to travel around. All the trains and buses run on time. Personally, my favorite time of year is spring, when it's dry and the cherry blossom is out. Tokyo is a very exciting city because there are always new things to do, new places to go, new things to eat. It changes very quickly.
Okay, after listening to Makiko from Tokyo telling about her cities, now let's hear from the man Vimal from Mumbai.
Al from Mumbai.
I have 2 strong impressions of Mumbai. First, it is a city that is so full of activity. It is busy, 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 all day long and all night long. It's a city that doesn't sleep much. The day begins early because it is so hot. It's a noisy place. There are cars going beep, beep, auto rickshaws by the thousand, fast trains rushing past, vendors shouting and trying to get you to buy their food, their drinks, their clothes. And people everywhere trying to get to work. The second thing to say is that the people are very, very enthusiastic. Life isn't easy in Mumbai for a lot of people, but we really work hard and we really want to do our best. Every new day brings new possibilities. The future is exciting for us.
Lourdes.
Okay, Okay, so now please listen to Lourdes from Mexico City talking about her city.
From Mexico City.
There are 3 things I like about living in Mexico City. First, the weather. It is warm and sunny most of the year. The second is the fresh fruit and vegetables. The markets are wonderful. The colors and smells are great. And the third is that I'm never bored because there is so much to see and do. We have museums, theaters, art exhibitions, parks, restaurants, bars, everything. My favorite time of year in Mexico City is the end of December, from the 16th to the 31st. The city is full of lights, there are parties everywhere, and we eat and drink and give presents. Everyone's really happy. I love it.
Okay, after listening to this paper, you have to write down about people's, the climate, transport, and things to do in a city. Okay, and here's another homework. Is to make a note about your country under these headings. The same headings: the city and its people, money and business, buildings and history, climate and the transport. So make a note about your city. So our city is Phnom Penh. Yes. So make a note about the city and send me after you have done.